After deciding if we're in the pizza box pyramid head or not, we find James freaking out in a disgusting, dirty, abandoned toilet. Then while he's still freaking out outdoor this time, we start hearing the voice of his deceased wife reading a letter that she just sent to him, telling him that she is waiting for him in their love town or something like that, the place in which they loved each other. At this point I have no clue, and James, which suspiciously looked like Fox Mulder, right? Right? Well, guess what? He has no clue either. She died 3 years ago, but James don't give a so I guess we are gonna go and look for her. We found a really useful map that tells us to go in a straight line through the graveyard and then through the Silent Hill Ranch. And yeah, this is clearly a bad idea, but we start walking. The graphics of the forest are really nice. The fog is covering 50% of it, but it's actually good. Then, after a really brief hike through the forest, James shows us that he's really out of shape. Literally run for 1 minute, James. You cannot be that tired. We reached the cemetery and we found this creepy chick that is there doing we don't know what exactly. So James decides to sneak on her and jump scare her. And I can assure you that with the headset on, that made my ears bleed. Despite the really clear map we have, James still asks her where we have to go to reach Silent Hill, and she basically tells us that the place is weird and it's better if we don't go, but James don't give a
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not.
She looks confused, lost. I mean, she doesn't look good, let's be honest, but she tells us that she's also looking for someone important, like her mom, her father, her brother, and basically her whole family, but it's not clear if they are there at the cemetery or in Silent Hill, but she doesn't look like she wanna go to Silent Hill, so I don't know, I'm confused, guys. So we keep going. We cross the ranch, we find a key in the mechanic shop that we need to open a closed door. The game shows us a random POV of a tunnel without any apparent reason, and after James showing us his struggle to run, we finally reach the town. 3 seconds of exploration in, we already start to find the weirdest, creepiest shit around.
What is this?
Someone sharted himself on the floor, man. Excluding the creepy shit, the town seems pretty cute. Mexican restaurants, lovely houses, a bit crusty, probably filled with bacteria and tetanus, but you know, nothing that cannot be disinfected with some fire. Then this happens. And we started with the creepy side.
Hey,
Don't call it.
wait.
Why are you calling it? It's in the fog, but it's still pretty clear that it's a weird creature. James, you dumb why are you calling that thing? And also, you know, the smartest thing to do in this scenario would be to go away, right? You know, turn around and go away. Pack your shit and go away. But I guess we are gonna follow that weird shit that you saw disappearing into the fog and see what happened, right? We find the radio that is basically gonna be our monster raider for the rest of the game, and then we get attacked by the little shit that we follow inside the abandoned house. He projects vomit like in my best Friday nights, so we hit him multiple times with a stick with nails. And then James enlightened us with an extremely smart observation.
Whatever it is, it's not human.
No shit, man. We also find our first healing syringe that I must say, it looks way more like it's gonna kill you instantly, more than heal you, but you know, you do you, James. Then we found a box of matches on the floor that mentioned Bar Neely's, and for some reason we decide to go there. Oh, and of course, during our path there, we found more and more of those bitches. Once we reach Neely's, we found a letter of someone that worked there, probably the owner, I don't know. And it tells us that someone went crazy and started to smash the jukebox, and he broke a button that he cannot find, and he broke a record, so half of the record is there. The other half, we don't know where it is, but he mentioned Groovy, which is the record shop. And he also mentioned the address of this guy, telling the person that this letter was supposed to go to maybe check on him to see if he's fine. So we go to the apartments, we find a letter that mentioned the Texan pub, and then we find a disgusting hole in the wall, and James decides to stick his arm inside it. Ew, the sound. Why would you do that? In any context. But despite being disgusting, that was the right thing to do, because we find the missing jukebox button. On the way out, we found a map on the floor that tells us that to reach Nathan Ave, we will have to cross the Woodside apartment and the Blue Creek apartment. So we saved that for later and we head to the Texan pub, because that random letter in the apartment told us so it must be the right thing to do. Once there, we find a Neely's jukebox coin inside the cash register for some reason. And while we are busy looking at it, guess what? Surprise! One of those motherfuckers crawls into the pub. Door, please. Why do you have to enter while I was looking at the coin, you motherfucker? Then we finally head to Groovy, the record store. We fight 2 more of these motherfuckers. We find the missing part of the record and James glue it together with the skills of a 3-year-old without hands. We also find another letter from probably the owner of the record shop that says that the janitor went there to fix a broken record that he broke at Neely's, and I'm starting to wonder, why the f is everyone leaving notes about this guy? Who is he? Why do they feel the need to write notes about him and leave them on the counter? To be fair, that's probably the weirdest shit in Silent Hill so far. So we head back at Neely's, we fix the jukebox and we play the tune that reminds James of when he went to Rosewater Park with his wife and they spent the whole day there. It was amazing, it was beautiful, so I guess that's our next destination. And then, since James glued the record together like if he could just use his toes, it literally explodes. Look at that. Look what it exploded. 1,000 of pieces. After the explosion, however, the jukebox releases a key to open the back door of Neely's, so we can continue exploring. We find another letter that says that someone, probably still the janitor, was too wasted to drive, so they lock him out and hid the car from him. But they tell us where we can find the car, so we go and look for it. Next to the car, we find a disgusting jacket that James, without any indication that that's the right thing to do, decides to touch. But that's fine, because he finds the key for the Woodside apartments. After that, 3 of these motherfuckers attack us at once. A powerful windstorm starts and I'm freaking out. So we somehow manage to get rid of them and we start to run through the storm towards the Woodside apartment complex. And the situation is really because all the motherfuckers we kill so far are back to life for some reason, so we cannot do anything else but run until we finally reach the Woodside apartments. Once inside, we find the map of the 3 levels of the building. Yes, 3 levels of creepiness and darkness, and a weird machine in which we will have to insert 3 coins. So yes, you guessed right. We will have to find 3 coins scattered around the 3 floors of the building. In one of the apartments we find a torch, which is extremely useful since it's dark as fuck, even though it's pretty weird because the torch is attached to a mannequin that is dressed like James' wife, and then a new monster jump scare us, and it's kinda disgusting because it's like 2 bottom half of a man attached to each other. We cannot do anything but keep exploring, and when we're trying to reach for a key, a creepy girl steps on our hand and runs away while laughing. Bitch.
Damn it.
After some more fights and exploring, we find a gun, and then we find a secret room in which we have to solve a riddle to open a safe, which contains the first coin that we need for the machine at the entrance of the building, and a key to unlock another part of the apartment complex. Oh, by the way, during this part of the game we find a lot of keys to unlock doors and parts of the building, but I'm not gonna go through it because who gives a shit. Then we find this garbage thingy which is clogged, but apparently is enough to throw more stuff in it to unclog it, so we throw a 6-pack in it, and we unlock the second coin. Then we hear some weird noises and we find this handsome fella vomiting in a toilet because he saw a corpse, and he tells us that he's not from there but something brought him there, and asks James if they can stick together so they can find a way out, but James is like, nah, I need to find someone, so see ya Eddie, be safe, goodbye. We fight 5 more mofos in the pool, and we find the 3rd and final coin inside a cream. We head back to the room with the machine, we insert the coin, solve the riddle, and get the key for the last locked door. Initially the apartment seems the best apartment so far, kinda clean-ish. The lights are on, electricity is working, but then this creepy piece of shit show up for the first time, so James decides to hide in the closet. And since we already understood that he's a dumb when he gets approached, he decides to shoot him, which is not only really dumb, but it's also shoot him on the metal part of his body, so it's completely useless. But apparently today is James' lucky day, cause the dude just turns around and goes away. So we exit the closet, we find an handkerchief, and we follow him. So we finally leave the Woodside apartment, and we enter the Blue Creek apartment, which is even more ranked than the previous building, probably because this is also the other world. Oh yeah, we just entered the other world for the first time. And everything looks horrible, but I can assure you that this is just the beginning. However, this is gonna be a problem for the next video. Subscribe, bye!